everybody, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I wanted to come on and share a Diamond Dyes design team project, and I'm going to be sharing the whole process of making a Mother's Day card using this awesome dogwood flower set. If you're going to make a purchase at Diamond Dyes, please consider using the code THANKSCHRISTINA for 10% off your entire order and free shipping on orders of $35 or more. These dogwood flowers are fantastic to make a clean and simple, elegant card. I used the 3 smaller flowers because I thought this larger one wouldn't fit as many flowers as I wanted to on the card size that I'm making. For demonstration purposes though, I will take the largest of the 3 flowers just so you guys can get a better view of what I'm doing. I'm taking just this pen cap. This is actually a water brush that was gifted to me by Inspired Soul, Rosa. And all I'm going to do is go back and forth on each petal, kind of giving the sense of the veining in the flower petals. And I'm just doing this on top of my mouse pad, which has a nice little give, so that it will pick up the lines that I'm kind of embossing into the petals. And it's not a super exact kind of thing, but you can see it creates a nice dimension. Then I'm going to take my Tim Holtz Distress Marker in Aged Mahogany, and I'm just going to touch the center outside part of each petal, because you know dogwoods have that little reddish brown area. I do that to all 4 petals. And then I'm going to take my mowed lawn and just kind of dab in the center, little dot. And then I'm going to take my gold liquid pearls and just put little dots over top of the green areas. It's just going to give you the sense of the center of the flower. And when you're done, that's how the flower looks. Pretty realistic. And I'm going to do one more just to give you another look. It goes by pretty quickly, but now I'm going to do a whole bunch of them, and I will skip that in the process until we get to the assembly of the card. Just to save time. And that's the second flower done. So as you can see, it goes by pretty fast. I'll come back and show you the rest of the assembly. I start with a white card base that's 5.5 inches by 11 inches, and I'm covering the front with an EK Tools powder tool. The stamp set I'm using, the sentiment, the Happy Mother's Day, is from that Julie Nutting Prima stamp set that I received as a gift from Dorothy Jewell. And I'm using Versamark ink to stamp out that sentiment, which I will then emboss with gold embossing powder. And I do all of that over a big scrap piece of paper so that I can tap off the excess. With that embossing powder, the tool that I use first, I don't get a lot of stray embossing powder sticking, but if you do have a little bit, you can just use a little paintbrush to knock it off. Then I'm using my heat gun to heat up the embossing powder. I also do the back because I think when you do both sides, then it prevents the paper from warping or curling too much. Then I just start assembling the card by adding all of the dogwood flowers that I made. I'm using Aleene's Tack-It glue, and I'm just putting the flowers down in no particular order. I'm trying not to have too many flowers that are the exact same size right next to each other, and just making it into a little wreath, a round wreath around the sentiment. I think the elegance of the flowers and just the abundance of putting so many around in that wreath form is really elegant. There's a hint of green and gold in the centers and that little hint of dark mahogany at the tips of each petal make for a nice sophisticated look. And I like leaving the petals up off the paper for that added dimension. Now I had scored the cardstock, but I forgot to burnish that down, so I'm doing that with my finger here. And I thought just to add a little bit more interest, I would take my corner chomper and round those corners off at the bottom of the card. Then I take my CraftyPaws tool to make a triple loop bow. I'm using some satin ribbon that has some kind of gold flourishes in the ribbon itself because I thought that was a nice elegant ribbon that would coordinate nicely with the dogwood flowers. And as you can see, making a bow with this CraftyPaws tool is really easy. Just tie that little knot, slide it off, and then fluff up the loops. And I'll just attach that bow after I cut the fishtail bottoms on the ribbon there on the bottom of the bow. I'll just attach that to the bottom of the little wreath, and that will be my completed card. Remember, if you'd like to pick up this die set, check out Diemond Dies. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye.